All right, guys, how's it going? This is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, baby. Let's do this. Let's get this show on the road. Let's get rolling. Let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. Let's do this. Gonna go pick up my son from school. It's about time. Thank you so much for those of you who've been watching the lives. I got some cool lives coming up. Some painting sessions. You know, as an artist, I've noticed that the more you create artwork, the more you have these juices flowing, these creative juices. But you know, I've also found this. I don't know if you guys might agree with this or not, but this works for me in my own life. If I just paint in one medium, I start kind of losing myself. What I mean by that is that things start coming out kind of wonky, kind of weird. I don't know if you guys experience any of that, but I can't stick to a single medium. I don't know. I have something in me that I become obsessed in one thing, and then I don't know. Maybe that's everybody. I don't know, but I start pigeonholing myself. You know, and just focusing on one thing, and that's not good because I start losing out on other stuff. It doesn't really work for me, right? So one of the things that I do is that I'll jump from medium to medium. I'll do some oil paints. I'll do some acrylic. The same day. I'm not even talking about like I'll let days go by. No, the same day I'll do different mediums, and that sort of keeps me. It keeps me going in a weird way. I don't know. I can't stick to a single medium, you know. So the same day I'll do some ink drawings. It doesn't have to be a lot, just, you know, like 30 minutes of something, you know. I'll do some ink drawings. I'll do or an ink drawing, you know. But I'll just put like 30 minutes into something, and then I'll move on. I'll do watercolors. Like, I won't devote the whole day to that. You know, I'll just use 1 hour or 30 minutes, whatever. And then I'll move on and then do some oil paint. And then I'll move on and do something else. And some drawings, some charcoal drawings, some acrylic painting, some minimalist work, some more realistic stuff. Like, I'll play around with it until I start getting those creative juices flowing. What I've come to understand is that anytime that you get stuck on a single thing, you start kind of losing sight of what's available. You know, you start losing sight. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but or not. This is certainly something that happens. That has happened to me, and I see it with other artists too. But I don't know if it works for them or not, because they seem to be doing just fine. You know, I don't know if it works for them or not. I don't know. I don't know if it works for them to be like, oh, I'm just going to paint oils, and that's all I'm going to do, and I'm going to paint landscape oils, and that's what I do. And see, I think that when you do that, you lose creativity. I personally think that. But I don't know. I don't know if it's for everybody. I have to be switching mediums, and I have to be switching themes and ideas, and I have to play with it. And then that's how I start getting that creative flow. And I have to be doing many things too. So in a way, it's kind of getting out of my own head. It's a weird little concept. It's kind of like getting out of my own head. If that makes any sense to anyone out there. I think it's very easy to get trapped and the mental clutter, and the mental rut. In a mental, you can even get in a mental rut, if you're doing the same thing. So, anyways, guys, I'll leave you with that. I hope that when you're working, you might find this useful. Move on from mediums. Don't get stuck in one. If you're feeling like maybe you're being artistically challenged somewhere, maybe it'd be a good idea to stop doing some oils for a little bit. Go do some acrylic, or go do some watercolor, or do it all. Do it all. Better yet. That way you start getting out of your own head, and you start getting out of your own interpretation of what things are supposed to look like, what things are supposed to be. Once you get into it's supposed to be this way, you kind of start losing sight of creativity. Creativity is not supposed to look like anything. Creativity is not. It doesn't come from something already made, right? Creativity comes from the unborn place, right? It's unborn. You give it birth on the canvas in that moment. It comes from the unborn. So creativity, you can't be like, well, it's gonna look like this. Like, creativity is gonna be like, well, fuck no, it's not gonna look like this. It's gonna look like the way I want it to look like. Like there is no rule for it. There is no rule for it. And so, anyways, it helps me to move onto different things. So take care, guys. I hope that this helps you. All right. Talk to you soon. Adios.